say love, it is a razor that leaves your soul to bleed. Some say love, it is a hunger, an endless aching need. I say love, it is a flower, and you, it's only seed. It's the heart afraid of breaking that never learns to dance. It's the dream afraid of waking that never takes the chance. It's the one who won't be taken, who cannot seem to give, and a soul afraid of dying that never learns to live. When the night has been too lonely and the road has been too long, and you think that love is only for the lucky and the strong. Just remember, in the winter, far beneath the bitter snows, lies the seed that with the sun's love in the spring becomes the rose.
Anyone that would like to make a presentation over in this corner in the right right-hand side, so we can get our program together before we start. We got about 10 or 15 minutes to do that. Thank you. Now we're here today to celebrate the 50th wedding anniversary of Bob and Juanita Johnson. I am their oldest son, and we are going to introduce their other children. Now this is 50 years of creation. The family that they have in that length of time, the grandchildren and great-grandchildren. It's quite a family to be proud of.
Amen.
That's some goodness.
Debbie? Can I get you to handle the start of this presentation? I believe they're down here in front on this table, the roses. Okay, I guess you're going to have to bring one up here to me. Is there a yellow one there?
White.
White, okay.
No.
Well, let's leave the white one there for a little bit. Each of us, Mom, has a rose we would like to present to you as I introduce each of the children of the family. Since I am the oldest, I will make the first presentation.
You call it.
Viola. Viola, will you bring yours forward? Elda, I would like for you to stay up here, please, bye. Just form a row here in front. Carl? Donna. Seattle up here. He's running a little late. Debbie, if you could bring red rose up for Jim, I will make the presentation, and the white rose. We have one white rose. We have a brother we lost. His spirit is here with us. Dan? Don? Denise? And Debbie? This is the immediate children of Bob and Juanita Johnson. I would like for each of you to call your children up in front of you. Yes, just the grandchildren, please come up. And stand in front of your mother or dad. Now, each of the grandchildren that have children of their own, would you bring your children in front of you? Now, may we have just all of the married spouses to the immediate Johnson family, please stand where you are for recognition. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present the Johnson family in its entirety, the 4 generations. Thank you. And you may be seated. You will have more. I just saw that Jim and Diane didn't get here. Stand up, be recognized, and bring your children out here at the edge of the floor. Everyone did it just before you got here. Just got here from Seattle.
Very emotional time in my life. well, Memphis Pavilion, a little bit about what they went through. The year was 1934 that Mom and Dad was married, and little did they realize then the future that they'd carry. Upon their wedding night, Dad played his fiddle as Mother lightly danced. Dad laid his fiddle aside and said, "I'd like to dance the last dance with my wife," he announced. They danced that last dance arm in arm as everyone looked on in delight. Two lovers moving slowly. It must have been a wonderful sight. Mom and Dad went to Osila's to have hamburgers for their first dinner. The meat was great, and they both felt like the world's greatest winners. It was common to have a chivalry, and they both knew it was due. Dad had on a blue serge suit, yet under a new wool blanket they both flew. And when they were discovered, out they came. The blue serge suit was never the same. As their life settled down and they started their family, Bobby was first, just one of many. They had 13 children as life whizzed by, and many people asked them why. 50 years later, as each other's spouse, and 13 children around the house. Thank you, Daddy, for making Mom your wife. And thank you, Mother, for sharing his life.
On the piano by Jay. Also, if Gloria would come with Jay, they will have a piano duet just in a few minutes following this.
I'd rather have Jesus than silver or gold. I'd rather be his than have riches untold. I'd rather have Jesus than houses or lands. I'd rather be led by his nail-scarred hand than to be
next has a reading. She can come up.
Mom and Dad, there are always things that we want to do for a special occasion like this. But many times we tend to miss the most important part, and that's giving of ourselves. I feel right now that the best thing I can give you is to express my sincere love and total honesty. Mom and Dad, you both gave me so much. You gave me true love and acceptance and forgiveness. It didn't seem to matter what we did. You always forgave us. Your love was never ending and your forgiveness was unbelievable. No matter how much trouble we got ourselves into, you were both there with open arms. And I'm sure anyone can vouch for that. You have your faults just like anyone else, but you sure did a fine job. The more I see of other homes, the more I'm aware of just how rare that warmth and understanding is that we grew up with. Mom, everyone always knew that they could come and talk to you about anything because you never rejected anyone. You always had time to listen with an open heart. It wasn't only with your family, but even friends of ours would end up talking with you openly and you would accept them. Dad, the times you spent with us on the rivers and lakes and just showing us a real appreciation for nature is so valuable. I always loved hearing your stories about the Indians. By the way, Dad, I found a really neat place where the Indians used to camp out on the riverbank. These people set teepees up and rent them out, and it's called Teepee Motel. I'll tell you about the whole story later. It's my turn to tell you interesting stories that you used to tell me. Mom and Dad, many times it takes a while to realize how people affect you in your life. But I am so grateful that I have realized what a healthy influence it has been for me to be a part of the Johnson clan. Thank you for being my parents. Now, did you want me to read these cards? Mom asked me to read these cards that I'd given her. It'll just take a minute here. This one's for Dad. There are so many things that I've never said to you, things that I've never been able to say or never had the perfect opportunity. But I've always wanted you to know that you've given my life so much. There are times when you've trusted me and been forgiving, understanding. There are times, so many times, when you made me feel that I was worth something as a person. You deserve so much thanks, but it's really not the kind that I can repay. You've done so much already in life. I don't know that I could add to the wealth of love and compassion that you already hold. But I do know that if there's anything that I could ever do for you, all you have to do is ask, and I'll try my best, and I'll give my best, and I'll always want the best for you, Dad. Mother, you have always been a model for me. Your wonderful ways touching everything that I do. Your constant love and kindness have been the source of my joy and have enabled me to share my happiness with others. From you, I have learned patience From you, I've learned patience as you have been unselfish with your time, listening thoughtfully to all of my problems. Your sensitive understanding of my many moods has carried me through the darkest hours of sadness and desperation. You have always been a bright sun shining on a cloudy day. I thank you for your caring guidance. It has allowed me to fully appreciate the joy of living. My hope is to live my life as you have done, a life of loving inspiration.
That's my baby sister. She is the youngest, I am the oldest, and there's somewhere approximately 35 years span between us, I believe. Now I'm telling my age. Okay, Now the piano duet by Jay and Gloria.
This song is talking about the happiness. The tears we hear and we're seeing and crying, and it's all to do with happiness and joy. One thing that the songs we're playing is glorifying Jesus. And you know, God's first commandment to Adam and Eve was to multiply and replenish the earth. We can all admit that Grandma and Grandpa have done plenty of that.
Real sure what Jerry has in mind, but we'll find out in a bit, and this will be the end of the program.
I'm going to reveal a few things about Mom and Dad that maybe not everybody's aware of. I'll tell you the first thing that I'm going to tell you is their first date. They're down in Oklahoma, and they went out after attending the dance. They went out and parked in the Lover's Lane, I believe they called it at that time.